Yes, what is going on, everybody? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing amazing. Oh no, is the mic on? I think it's on. Yes, it is on. Okay, perfect. So we start another gorgeous day, Thursday. It is Thursday, February 27th. It is 27th. Oh, we gotta go live here too. Perfect. It is Thursday, February 27th, and the 34th episode of the Growth Power Hour. And yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be doing this on the 34th day where we come together. Oh no, seriously? Why you gotta do this to me, bro? Okay. Hold on a second. I don't know if this is going to be catching us here. Oh no, we definitely need to save the water. Oh no. Oh shoot. No, we really need to get out of here. Okay, so we're outside and everything started. The machine starts, sprinklers start going. Oh, after all the delay. Star, can you please put this over there for me? Just one moment. You know, let's first show a video here. And while this video is playing, I'm gonna go and get the rest of the stuff. But meanwhile, I want you all to please watch this because this video is from, where is this? Come on, Brit, come on. Oh no, not here, huh? Great. Okay, so here it is. The video is not here. You know what we should do? No. I wanted to show a video. Hello, Star.
Hi, everyone. Can they hear me? Or do I need a mic?
Yes, they can hear you.
Awesome. How's everybody doing?
How's everybody doing? You look beautiful, Star.
Thank you.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need a moment to get everything. Or Star, can you please help me with getting those?
What?
Those stuff over there. Like my, the charger is important. And my water. That's it. Perfect. So I don't know if you guys can see behind us. There's like all the water, sparkling fountains, whatever they're called, irrigation system. The irrigation system is actually starting to go off as we just went live, okay? And I was right in the middle of the garden. Sorry for about that. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see now. Huh? I owe you big time for that. Thank you so much. All right. Let's plug us in because we're losing power here. And let me also open up. Durud. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mahan. How are you doing? Thank you for being with us. Mahan says he is Iranian. What country are you from? We are in USA, Florida. We are in Florida, USA, and I hope you're doing great. Tell me where you are from right now, Mahan. And for everybody else, I hope you're doing amazing no matter wherever you are joining us in the world from. Today's conversation is actually going to be very, very interesting. I just will plug in our computer. Hopefully this is not wet. And okay, perfect. Let's try this again. Well, that was a good 5 minutes. Thank you all for working with me. Today's conversation is about a very important topic. It is about the topic of elements of transformation, because a lot of what we stand for here as a show, everybody, as a daily power hour, well, as a show, because this is a video event. So as a daily power hour, oh crap, what is happening today? Everything is just breaking apart. As a daily power hour, I want you to always take away something from this recording, from this live event with you that you could leverage in your own life to close the gap, essentially, by getting to where you need to, closer to your own dreams and goals much quicker. That is entirely, essentially, the idea of this event. We have a lot more people. Mon lives, long live America. Yes, that's right, Mon. Florida is beautiful. We have another person here with us. Nim, hey bro, how's it going? Hey, how are you doing? Today we're having more interactions, more people saying hi to us. And Mahan, are you actually from Iran? That is very interesting. Says YouTube is actually filtered in Iran. That is very interesting. Of course it is. And if you're from there, it's absolutely very interesting. Thank you for having you with us. So the elements of transformation, that's very important. That's today's conversation, because we want to always enable and gift everybody with the strategies and the requirements that we need to close the gap, to get to our own dreams and missions quicker. There's nothing being sold to you here. This is a pure community hour where we are getting together to discuss different strategies that we get paid thousands and thousands of dollars to dispense to our clients, top executive clients, to the community for free, to all of you for free. So hopefully you could leverage this and create the life that you want. So without further ado, let's actually start talking about the elements of transformation. I took my notes on my phone about what I should be discussing here today. So there are 5 stages that we all go through to experience transformation. Mon is from Iran and he's saying, long live Trump. This is funny. You may be surprised. People around the world, many of them love Trump. Many of them love Trump, especially Iranians. Yes, thank you for joining us, Mahan. We appreciate you. So I thought to share that with everybody. That was nice. The first step of transformation that I want you to focus on, that is so important, is satiation. So there is no transformation in our lives. There is going to be no change. There is going to be no stage at which we're going to say, okay, I'm going to change the way things are and enough is enough, until we are completely satiated, okay? And that's very important to understand, because until there is satiation, we're still basking in on the experience, albeit an experience, a nevertheless experience of misery, because we've talked many times about the fact that misery actually is its own addictive state. Most people are so addicted to being miserable that in their place of comfort, in their zone of being miserable, they get stuck because it's feeding their first and most important of the 6 basic human needs: certainty. I have a certainty that I know what my state is going to be like. So until we're not satiated with the pain, and until we're not satiated with that experience, whatever it is that needs to change, there is going to be no change. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, we have another one here. Yes, another one in the house. Trump's got a lot of fans in the house today. Okay, since we're being asked live questions, we will get to satiation. But Mon is asking, is your religion Christianity? No, personally, my religion is humanity. That's what my religion is. So, yeah, thank you for joining us, Mon. So, first stage of creating change and transformation that actually transforms our lives, the first stage, the first requirement is satiation. Okay? Now, satiation literally meaning that we have to be absolutely fulfilled with the current experience that we're having. Otherwise, there's no point of changing it. That's step one. Step two is going to be actually the stage at which we have dissatisfaction. So now satiation, okay, I'm full, I've had enough of this, that's good. But then now we need to have pain. So if you want to transform, the second step is there any pain in your life? Now, a lot of times we are avoiding the pain by distracting ourselves using different methods and different strategies, different tools such as Netflix, social media, work, alcohol, sex, drugs, shopping, whatever it is. Everybody has their own method of silencing the pain. However, when pain exists, you have already arrived at the second stage of being able, of the 5 stages of massive transformation, to go through with it. Now, what are the next 3 stages? Remember, we always talk about patterns. Patterns are so important, and it's important to understand what the patterns of change are, okay? So the next and the third stage is this stage of enough. And so now I have satiation. So the experience went for too long. Then there is the dissatisfaction. The pain is present. That's step number 2. Step number 3 is always the threshold. And that's the limit. And now for everybody, that is different. Everybody has a limit where the red line is on the sand that they say today, or this one is just enough. Enough, no more. I'm not dealing with any more of this. I'm not taking this shit on anymore. I'm not going to deal with it. That point of enough is the border where the first elements of transformation start manifesting, because we get the desire to now risk going beyond our place of current comfort for finding a solution to our pain, okay? And it's enough. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm going to start looking for it. Now, at this stage, no single amount is accepted anymore. This is very prominent. Like, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. That's a prominent thought at that stage. And then the next stage is the insight. So when it comes to transformation, 5 stages. After stage 3, which is I've had enough, no more, I'm not going to tolerate this. Then there is the moment of insight. Now the insight is the aha. It is me moment. That's the moment of insight, where you go like, oh no, it is not everybody else. It is me who's been experiencing and creating all of this. And until that moment doesn't happen, there are many people that keep on going in the first 3 as a loop, and they just go through the experience all over again and again and again. And that's why the moment of insight, which is the moment of owning responsibility, that whatever has been happening that I'm satiated with, that I'm in pain with, and I don't want to tolerate any more of, until the moment, the 4th stage, which is the most significant stage, until that doesn't happen, there is no ability to experience the full transformation, because at best we just become now problem aware. However, because we are lacking the response ability which is our ability to respond because we are playing the, what is the word for it? We talk about this a lot. Learned helplessness card, which is that I'm too weak, I don't know what to do with this, the life is happening to me, and I've had this and didn't have that, until that fourth stage doesn't happen, which is the moment that you say, aha, this is all me, it's all been me, and whether it's good or bad, it's all me. And until that stage doesn't occur, then the next stage, which is the opening, which is the fifth and the final stage, does not present itself. Because the opening, which is essentially where you have to step through, take that leap of faith to find yourself inside, stepping into a new paradigm, new possibility, new outcomes, that opening will not present itself until you take the responsibility on why and how it has all been done by you, so that you experience what you're experiencing, that's putting you in satiation, discomfort, pain, and everything is enough. That, in 10 minutes, is how we talk about the formula that actually is required every time you want to create a transformation. Now, why do I say create? Because it is completely up to you. You can 100% create transformation consciously right now, which is literally what we do as breakthrough consultants when we get hired. Or you could wait for your life to fuck with you so much with the events, with the outcomes that you're creating, to really catch up with you and, as per se, smash your head against the rock bottom, or have the dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call it. You could wait for that for you to wake up. See, the thing is, it is a 100% conscious choice how we get to create the life that we want to create for ourselves. Do I want to consciously transform right now, or do I actually want to wait until I have so much pain that for me it becomes impossible to ignore the pain anymore? That for me, it becomes not possible to ignore the fact that I am in pain, that I'm being complacent. So the first step, let's just do it one quick time. The 5 stages of creating transformation or experiencing transformation. Now, you could go through this with life slowly. It may take decades, it may take years, it may take months. For some people, it takes a lifetime and they don't transform. For some people, all it takes is one moment of conscious creation to create this transformative space for themselves, so they understand that they're satiated with the current lifestyle, whatever it is. It's bad health, bad relationships, lack of money, lack of love, whatever it is in your life. Lack of discipline, lack of spirituality, lack of faith, lack of whatever it is. You can create that just by acknowledging that you've experienced the opposite, which is the lack, already enough. When you understand you already experienced this enough, okay, I've been broke all of my life, that's good, I don't want to experience that anymore. See, that's still not being pain and the point of limit. That's still something that I'm satiated with. So many people are satiated with so many experiences with their lives, yet they refuse to take action because they still haven't reached the steps 3 and 4. So first step is this step of being satiated with the current experience when you want to experience transformation. The second step is there enough pain? So it's boring, I don't want it anymore, it's enough, like it's already been enough of it for too long, far too long. Now there is pain that I'm experiencing because of where I am. So that could be physical, emotional, mental pain. And then eventually the third step, which is very important, is it the limit? Is this the limit of how much I'm willing to put up with? That's step 3. Step 4, when you reach your limit and you're like, not another day, not another minute, not another second, I'm going to actually tolerate this. At that stage, stage 4 becomes an inevitability, Because when you refuse to tolerate the pain and the same events that you've been experiencing, the next stage is you must be able to understand. And this is where most people get stuck and they go back to stage one and they just loop back. This is where your breakthroughs happen. The breakthrough happens between the stages of 3 to 4, where you understand that it has been you all along that has done and created everything you're experiencing today. Good and bad, doesn't matter. There is nobody else other than yourself that can change what you're experiencing right now. The moment you understand that, stage 4 is handled. And with that, when you completely get it, when you own it, when you take up that responsibility and step into it, then the 5th stage is the opening. And this is where a lot of people come, but because they don't have the certainty and they don't have the encouragement, they don't take the leap of faith and step through the opening that was presented to them. And then what happens? They go back to the same experience, feeling more satiated. Until they feel more satiated, they go back in it, distract themselves a little bit. Oh, it's okay, I'll deal with it, it's normal life. Until they again feel satiated, again enough pain comes through, again they say enough is enough, not another day, not another hour, not another second. And then they come to the conclusion, do I want to actually take this responsibility, or do I want to blame everybody else? The prime example of this, you could find it around you, are the people that go through multiple marriages or failed relationships. Prime example. You know, people who think that if I didn't have a good relationship with my partner and they cheated on me, I'm just going to go find somebody else. And they will be nicer. How many of you know of any people who have been in abusive relationships and they have been complaining constantly all the time about the relationships they're in? Let's see what Mr. Paul says. I was satiated with a business, 2 children, and a 25-year marriage till my wife stole all the business money and community assets and left with a woman, and now at 59 I'm broke by attorneys and her. Absolutely correct. You were satiated with it. However, did you take any actions earlier? Did you willingly ignore all the red flags? Because you understand nothing happens overnight, Paul. And that's why stage 4 is so important. So first of all, my heart's with you. And you are a very strong being that can go through this, because weak beings, weak humans do not experience pain. And I want you to understand that. So since we are here for the power hour of the community, I want to talk about your specific situation, because I know many people who are actually on the same boat. I have clients who are there. So let's talk about it. We were just talking about transformation. Paul, it sounds like you need to experience a transformation, no? Because you are saying you're satiated, you were satiated, your life has been happening. Yes, you trusted her. He says, I trusted her. That's right. However, by trusting her, did you not see all the red flags along the path? There must have been red flags. There are always red flags. So this is how life happens. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong, all of you. Anytime you've experienced something extreme, has it just like, boom, came and happened? Especially in relationships like this. No. There's usually the coldness of the relationship post-honeymoon, and then there is the dying off of the passion, and then there is the ongoing drift between the partners, and then there is the we don't talk anymore, and then the arguments start getting longer. Yes, you see? Great job, brother. Great job, Paul. This is how it happens. This is stage 4. This is the beginning of stage 4, where you say, I did notice the red flags. I chose to ignore them. I'm not going to argue or even question why. Obviously, you said 2 kids, business, wife. So love. Love is why we ignore the red flags, isn't it? Look at that. Literally what I just said. I overlooked them because I loved her. Absolutely. That's literally what I was saying. So here's the thing. And this, Paul, stay with me because we're going through this together. This is literally the steps of transformation that you're now going through. But I want you to stay with me because the reason you didn't do it because you loved her, it's not about her. It's about we always do it because that person makes us feel good. That's what we call love. That's what we call happy. That's what we call excitement. We call it joy. We call it passion. True? We call it different names. It doesn't matter. But the important realization I want you to come to is that we didn't do it because of them. We did it because of us. So we did it because it made us feel good. And then at the same time, we knew all the way along, come on, be honest, you're not live with me. If you want to, you could get on this conversation live and we'll talk. But if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. We could take it like this. But you know that there were so many times that you had the red flags and you said, I should do something about this. However, fear, which only comes due to lack of clarity, every time prevents us from taking decisions and committing ourselves. The fear of what am I going to do? What is going to happen? What's going to be the outcome? What's going to happen to the kids? Which the thing is, not dealing with that fear does not actually get rid of the source, the root cause. It only actually exacerbates it. And you are right. In actually separations, whether it's business or relationships, which they're both relationships, so whether it's your business partner or your life partner, separations literally only work to the benefit of lawyers. I have seen this with so many clients. Separations are not a thing that are actually, and the thing is, by the way, why does this even happen? Because everybody becomes emotionally unstable during processes of separation. And instead of everybody taking responsibility for what I am responsible for, which is all of it, everybody just wants to point the finger that you were the one who messed me up. You were the one who brought us to this point, and now you need to pay for it. It is your responsibility. And now here's the thing, Paul, by you taking responsibility, it doesn't mean that she's going to do the same. However, it will allow you to get to the 4th stage, which is to have that insightful moment that it is, good question. Paulo Freire says, what's the hardest stage to get past? It depends. It really depends. It all depends on how much pain you have. Because if you have, and when you have enough pain, not if, when there is enough pain, it almost becomes inevitable and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy on its own that you're going to get past it. Because you have to act now. It is all about how much pain you have. And here's the thing, most people stay complacent with where they are right now because the certainty of even experiencing, basically I know I have the certainty that I'm going to be in pain when I wake up tomorrow because the problem hasn't gone away. My life situation, my intimate situation problem hasn't gone away. My work situation hasn't changed. Everything is still the same. That certainty that I'm still walking into that problem, at least I am certain of it, because we are in a state of not having a desirable outcome and experience to begin with. We just kind of don't want to rock the boat. So we stick to status quo and we say, okay, let's just go with the flow and see what happens. instead of taking 100% responsibility at the moment of pain and saying, I do not tolerate pain, I shouldn't be experiencing pain, I should be experiencing a life that even if it's hard, look, I don't want to go cliche on us here, but people such as Nelson Mandela and Gandhi, they went to jail, and after they came out of jail, they became presidents of their respective countries. And they created the massive momentum of revolutions after they went to jail, because both of them came and said, while I was in jail, in the darkest times of my physical life, I realized that I had a heaven to experience on my own, which was to get to know myself and the people around me better and more. That's what they both said, and that's how they came out even stronger than when they went in. Nelson Mandela actually says he was so interested to learn so much about the people who were jailing him and his captives from a perspective of love, not from a perspective of hate. So he starts studying everything about history, everything about all the things, while he was locked in and he couldn't do much else. This process right now is how we are getting locked in. Now, here's the thing. Paul, this is very important, brother. The important thing is responsibility, which we just call in a quick way, we say responsibility. Responsibility does not mean blame. When you go in blame, you're actually, what you're doing to yourself is you're not taking responsibility, you're just playing a victim and now just going back and judging, executing, prosecuting yourself over and over and over and over again, which is very, 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 very unhealthy and destructive. It doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve anybody around you. As a matter of fact, shame and blame are two of the lowest vibrational states that we could measure in human anatomy with different scalar energies. Their shame and guilt are even lower than fear, because a lot of the times in fear, we actually get motivated to do something because I'm fearful, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna get out of it. But when we put ourselves in a constant state of blame and shame, we actually disable ourselves from taking actions necessary. So it becomes a full self-fulfilling prophecy. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, snap it out. Because I want you to understand, by saying I am the one who created all of my life today, you essentially are empowering yourself, not disempowering yourself. Because you realize how strong and how powerful you are to create, albeit the shit show that I'm experiencing today. I literally share this with you because this was 100% my journey personally before I was able to, at a personal level, start embodying, learning, and deploying all these strategies that I'm talking to you about into my own life. Because until then, I was just a researcher and consultant and I was dispensing this to other people. But when COVID came and I realized I lost all of my life, over almost $1.5 million in investments, and my relationship with my partner was literally at the brink of 2 separations. I realized that everything was going to shit. And it was really easy because at the beginning, it was like, it was COVID. It was the government. Everything was out of my control. My partner is not understanding me. I am weak and she's kicking me to the curb. That's what all the thoughts were. Nobody gets me. Nobody knows the pain I'm going through. Okay, and what did that get me? When I was there, I felt absolutely powerless. I felt depressed. The most illusion of depression that I was having in my life was at that peak of having lost all the business and almost losing the most precious thing to my life, which is my relationship with my partner. At the time that I thought, okay, this is the last thing, and this is also going, it's fleeing. So how easy was it to just say, it's all not my fault? Very easy. What was the solution out of it? No solution. It was just more pain, more pain. And if you remember, the second step was there enough pain to wake me up? Well, the moment that it became enough pain was when I had to make a choice of separation. And then at the moment of choosing that I have to separate, yes or no, then there was, do I even tolerate this lifestyle anymore? That question is the third stage. Because I had so much pain for such a long time. I was satiated with feeling down and feeling depressed. I want you to understand that if that's how you feel, that's not enough. And you could get stuck in that, because I was, by just having alcohol and just doing whatever was necessary, including just binge watching everything on Netflix to feel good, and social media scrolling, which only just gives you instant satisfactions instead of that delayed gratification, those quick dopamine cheap shots that will just give you a little bit of happiness at the moment, just to distract myself from the fears and from all the pain and shame and blame that I was cooking myself into. So if this resonates with any part of your life right now, I want you to know, A, you're not alone, and B, you're not a victim. You're the creator of your circumstances, not responding to your circumstances. You're the creator of your life, not the respondent to the circumstances. And that's where the stage 4 comes in, where the insight, the aha, oh my God, hold on a second. Because I was a geek, I was this researcher all my life. For me, it was basically, how can I scientifically find my way to, I am responsible for my life today? Because for me, I was like, wait a second, I didn't bring this virus and close down all of the economy for 1.5 years. The government did that. How's that my making? But then you know what I realized? I realized that, well, there are so many businesses that were around me, including my clients, that were actually booming during that era. I just chose to do things 100% on my volition, my own volition, that actually got me to where I was that day. The decisions I made for the businesses that I wanted to invest in, for the place I wanted to live in, all of it was my choice. Nobody forced me to do them. Yeah, and when everything is dandy and everything is nice, then no problem, nobody's complaining. The moment shit starts going south, everybody starts pointing fingers, forgetting that anytime you point a finger towards anybody else, you have 3 pointing to yourself. You cannot point a finger at anybody without first understanding 3 of your fingers are pointing to you, and I am the one who brought us even to this position where I actually even get to have a partner or 2 kids and my wife taking all of it away. I was the one who did it. Now here's the thing, do I have to blame myself? Here's the critical part of the insight. The insight moment, the insightful moment, the moment where you break through the 4th step is literally where you realize that, oh my goodness, I wasn't the victim here. I was the director of this movie the whole time. I was not the person who was watching this. And that's what I want you to understand. Ihan says, what are you guys talking about? We are talking about the 5 stages of transformation. Transformation of your life, of what we want. Whatever you're experiencing, what are the 5 stages that we must go through to experience, new outcome, whatever it is. Health, relationship, wealth, love, whatever it is. And one of our brothers in the community, Mr. Paul just was kind enough to share with us his perspective, that he's coming through a separation, and we are now bringing his example. Since he's communicating here with us, we are using his example to tie it into the conversation of what are the 5 stages that you must recognize as a pattern to be able to put yourself through. And the importance of knowing the 5 stages is that so you know where you are right now, what's ahead of you, and what to expect when you get there, so that you could create that conscious change and embrace that change when the right time comes. Or better yet, create that change right now. Because Paul, I have a question for you. You're still here with us. When is now a good time to change for better? I want to ask every one of you. When is now a good time to consciously commit yourself to a better version of yourself and of your life? So I was telling you this, when I started doing the research, I realized, because I was looking for those scientific answers to what does it mean that I'm responsible. Because first time I heard from somebody that I am 100% responsible for everything in my life, including the pain, including the sorrow, including the sadness, including the success, I was like, wait a second, I like to take the claim for all the good success and all the happy stuff, but the bad part, they were not my problem. At this case, I had maybe some say in it. Everybody else was creating them with me and for me. But that's exactly why I kept staying in a state of constant suffering and blaming and playing a victim. Self-blaming myself, blaming other people, and playing a victim. So that's why it becomes so critical. Because first time I heard it, I was like, what do you mean? That's nonsense. How am I responsible for everything? Like, I was a child. How am I responsible for where I was brought up? How am I responsible for even the things that I was taught? So then this gets very deep, and we've talked a lot in previous days. 34 days, this is the 34th power hour that we are here for. But I can't put everything, cram it in 1 hour. I want you to understand one thing. When I realized that psychology now tells us, the science and the research tells us that an average human goes through 60,000 thoughts a day. Okay, 60,000 thoughts a day an average human goes through. Of those 60,000 thoughts that go through our mind today, 95% of them by the time we are 35 years old are today the same as they were yesterday. Stay with me because this is very important. I'm giving you so many tools by the end of this that you can change so much within your life in a snap of a finger. You just gotta stay with it and just stay engaged. Don't get distracted. Don't go in your head. Just stay in your heart, listen, and just watch the movie and absorb. And then you get to decide if it's worth it for you or not, if you want to use it or not. I'm not selling you nothing. There's nothing to sell you here, okay? No links to click on, nothing. All that there is this is our YouTube channel and all of our 6 channels on all social medias through 14 different outlets. So we just share it. So whoever watches it, if you want to come talk to us on YouTube so I could see your messages the way I see Paul's and Nassim's and everybody else, Ihan's, then you can go on our YouTube channel here and then I could see your messages. We could just have a communication. That's why I put this here. I'm not selling you nothing, okay? This is a community service on my end to the world. This is a gift from us to you. So please understand this. I'm just giving you the strategies that people pay us thousands and thousands of dollars for, so that hopefully you could get this and create the change in your life that you are deserving of. Now, let's talk about this. The 5 stages of transformation. I already talked about that in here. I want you to be aware that for whatever reason, if your life is not where you want it to be, you gotta go through these 5 stages. You could wait until time brings you there where you're in your pain. Like right now, by the way, Mr. Paul is where? He is at stage 2. Because he's been satiated, that's what he started with, and he's in enough pain. However, because Stage 3 has not fully developed yet for him, within him, to say, not another minute, not another hour, not another second that I will tolerate feeling the way I am feeling. The 4th stage, which is the natural, everything is my making, everything is my doing, has not still occurred. I was telling you about 60,000 thoughts a day. This is all going to come and connect with each other. Stay with me. 60,000 thoughts by the time you're 35 years old today is the same as yesterday. 95% of it. Okay? Now, of the 95% that is the same as yesterday, it is also the same as the day before, the day before, the day before. Now, this is where it gets very important. Our thoughts create our feelings create the actions or inactions that create every second, that create the minutes, that create the hours, that create the days, the weeks, the month, the years, and now the life you're experiencing today is a result of all the things you have done and not done for decades and years. And all of those are coming from the emotions that you were feeling that made you and drove you to do things and not things. And all of those feelings start from thoughts that, if you remember, 60,000 a day, 95% today, the same as yesterday, saying with me, of these 95% thoughts, 60% of them, so about 45,000 thoughts a day, are placed in our subconscious mind by the time we are 7 years old. So many of the modalities, we call them, principles of what life is even about, are coming from a time during which we still didn't even remember any of it. Yet my point is, it is still my responsibility, the life I'm having today, and nobody else's. This is the whole point of the conversation. That moment of insight at stage 4 happens when I realize that, yes, even given all the information, all the upbringing, all of the culture, language, religion over which I had no choice, are still up to me, because there were people who in my community, who in my family, maybe my sister, my brother, my cousins, same culture, same language, same religion, they have a completely different outcome. We have twins that are born of the same parents, same genetic 99% makeup, same food, culture, language, everything. They completely go different separate paths. Is that not possible? 100% it is. So it is only when we accept that I am powerful and I have created everything that I'm experiencing today, albeit, this is where it gets good for you, albeit I've done most of what I'm experiencing today subconsciously, because of the 60,000 thoughts that go through your head. You're not thinking about every one of those, otherwise you'd be going crazy. 95% of those thoughts are, because they're going through a loop today as the same as yesterday, they're going and operating at a deeper subconscious level, which means you're not even thinking about them anymore. The thought is being automatically generated to automatically create the emotional equivalent of the thought in your body to feel what is necessary for your body to move itself or not to move itself, to take the actions necessary. If it makes sense, snap it out, please. I want you to understand, please. It's a good news that the life you have today is 100% you're doing, because once you understand that the reason you're experiencing the life you're experiencing today is because of every decision, every thought in your mind that has created the emotions, that have created the things that you have done and not done for decades, for years, for months, and today it's that, and 95% of them, they were programmed at your subconscious level to happen without you even being aware of them. That means you've been living, when you know 95% of today is the same as yesterday and the same as the day before, that means you're constantly living in a familiar past, and you could only experience a predictable future. unless you take 100% and full ownership that every 60,000 thoughts that I'm generating every day that creates the feelings equivalent to the thoughts that will drive me to do or not do things is being created here. Nobody is injecting it into my brain. And when I become more aware of it, I can actually control them. We call them pattern utilization. The first step is pattern recognition. You must be able to recognize patterns of thoughts that are repeating every day, those 60,000 thoughts. You must be able to identify them because those are the ones that have made your life today. So everything you are experiencing because of that today. And look at this. Mr. Paul says, that is true. I have 5 siblings that are older and they're all millionaires. Why I struggle every day. Thank you, my brother. That's exactly what I'm talking to you about. See? Same siblings, same family, same upbringing. The reason that you are not, and you're saying now your company is gone and your family, your wife took the kids and now you're where you are, is because, are you ready for it? Those 60,000 thoughts that I just told you are going through your head, 95% the same as yesterday and the same as the day before. That, by the way, 2/3 of which come from the time we were between the age of conception to 7, and of the 60,000 thoughts that repeat themselves every day that create the same emotional feelings within us, 2/3 of them are always usually statistically focusing on fear, what is we are lacking and what is it that we are not having available to us. So then they create emotional equals in our body to how we're thinking, and then through that we actually do not do what is necessary because we were not focusing unconsciously and being awake on the 5. See, only 5% of the day we are making conscious decisions. 95% is automatic. Think about it. The moment you wake up, you open your own eyes, you already know what you got to do right after. You just get up and you start doing the same things that you were doing yesterday and the day before and the day before. You just wake up, you do the normal walk. If you always go to the washroom, you will go to the washroom. If you always have a drink first, you will have a drink first. If you always go for your phone, you will go for your phone. It's the same repetition. Then you will go through the coffee, then you will go through your clothes, then you will wear pretty much the same pattern of clothes all over again. You will get in your car, put your radio station that you're not even listening to on, or you're going to put your music on and you're going to keep on driving to the same car, same work. And even when you get to the same work, even if you think your work is different, no, it's still the same thing that just keeps on changing. Maybe you have a different case you're working on. That's right. Nassim is very right. And look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is exactly what you want to focus on. Because here's the thing, my man, Paul, you have already built this life. Whether you like to agree with it or not, you have built it. You've already built the company. Sure, she could take the company, but she's not going to know how to run it. If you built it, you can build it again. And if you weren't the one who built it, you could still build something new because you are essentially building your life. That's what I want us all to understand. This is quantum physics, guys. This is not my beliefs. This is science. Science says today that every second, at every millisecond, literally every second, we as conscious awareness, our awareness is traveling through millions of different paradigms and dimensions of possibilities by choosing what to show up as according to the thoughts that we are experiencing and generating within our own brain. Science says this now. Quantum physics is 100% now in agreement in agreement with the old teachings of humanity from 30,000 years ago, and with psychology, we are having this point of singularity where the science and the old teachings of the world are colliding with each other to create a cohesive definition of what life means and why do we experience life the way we do. So congratulations for holding on to the best part, which is, by the way, this will become a story for you, Paul, to tell everybody else once you rebuild everything even better than before. So I want you to focus on not what you've lost another second by taking responsibility, ownership, by focusing your attention, which is all that you have, that you could create with, not allowing those 60,000 thoughts that are going through your mind to focus on what is not available and what is gone, and focus your attention on what is available and what is present to you, available to you. And by the way, the first and foremost starts with you, with yourself. Your health is your wealth. So do you have your body? Do you have your health? If you have that health, if you have that body, if you have what is giving you the ability to even breathe, to have a heartbeat, you're still in the game. You're still building this. Don't forget, every thought creates this moment, the space, the feeling that creates the next moment, and they start piling on top of each other. We call it stacking on top of each other. So you're essentially stacking these moments on top of each other regardless. It's just that now we are saying, become conscious of these stacks and start stacking them the way you want your next 2 years to look like today. You cannot say, I want a better life, and focus on what you don't have. If you want a better life, when you're trying to rebuild, focus on what you want to experience and do what you have to do at that point when you have it today. So if you want to have a new company again, if you want to be in a loving relationship again, what would you have to show up as? If you want to be a good father now to your kids, who do you have to show up as to be that person? And that's what you're going to focus on. Stop focusing on the bills, on the lawyer calls, on the crazy memories, ups and downs of the past. Because by doing that, you just get stuck in that pattern. Take ownership, have that insightful moment that this is all me, and then step through the opening by creating a community for yourself who will be there for you to go through this. That's what we're doing here every day. I'm here every day for all of you guys. You can even get on a live call with me if you want. That's literally why we're doing this for free, because we want to be able to give these services to the community that doesn't have the $600 per hour to spend on getting breakthrough consultants. If you're here, there's a reason you're here. We're here for you tomorrow again, the day after again. You could always come back. You could send this to somebody who needs this. Get them to come. We're here for you to help you out. I want to read a couple of more comments before I leave. And I want to say Nassim shared something that I want to actually also read. I want to see what she says. She says, my ex abducted my only son and took him to another country for 7 years. Wow. He has been back with me now, and it's the most precious asset I have in my life. Absolutely happy for you, Nassim. And I'm sure this is something that experience of your son not being around is making this even more precious for you right now. And I'm so happy you're together. I'm so happy you're together. And by the way, Nassim, same thing with you. Can you say that you didn't see the red flags when your husband was having red flags? did you not know? We always know. It's just that we refuse to take action on them because of our own fears. And Paul, since I still have you here, I want to say the reason we are in fear constantly in life and we don't take actions necessary that we know we must is because our two of most fundamental mental fears, and because we're at the top of the hour, I just want to close with this, and then we'll see you all again tomorrow. But there are two fundamental fears that any human has. The fear of not being enough, which the reason we want to be enough is because we want to be loved. So the fear of not being loved. And the thing is, the reason we all have those two foundational fears and we are always walking on eggshell with our employees, with our employers, with our coworkers, with our partners, with our family, is because of one foundational thing. We're doing everything to get noticed, especially as men, and then only to be loved. Now, whether we are men or women, we all want to be loved. And the reason we do everything we do for other people and tolerate the abuse that we all put ourselves through is because of lack of self-love. And that's where the most important part of this entire conversation comes. When there is a lack of self-love, then we allow and we tolerate other people's abuse of us in exchange for hopefully having a possibility at them recreating the emotions of love within us by whenever they're ready on their terms giving it to us. And that's, by the way, why we put ourselves in checkmate positions in a lot of different paradigms and dimensions of our lives, because we want the love, and people that know you want the love will always hold it back. And that happens all the time in relationships. All the time in relationships, it happens where people hold back love, which is, by the way, the worst thing you can do, because every time you hold back love, you're the first one who's hurting and then other people. But you could never hold back love from a person that loves their being. And I'm not saying be selfish and be self-absorbed. There is different meanings. I'm saying you have to love your heart, appreciate your heart, thank your body. There are trillions of cells, individual cells that make up this body that does everything it does intelligently on its own. Love those cells from your heart. Give gratitude to your body, to your stomach, to your intestines, to your kidneys, to your heart, to your brain, to your eyes, to your mouth, to the cells inside every bit of your body. Love them, thank them for keeping you alive. It's a miracle every second of it. 1 second of our conversation, 1 million cells inside your body are replaced every second. Love the system, the intelligence that is keeping you alive so that you can experience love. And that's where it all starts. Nassim says he was a red flag from day one and I still chose to be with them. Of course. I was telling you, that's always a case. There is never a case where you get into a bad abusive relationship and it just showed up out of nowhere. No, of course it didn't show up out of nowhere. You saw so many red flags that you were dismissing. Why? Because of our need to be loved. By the way, for women, a lot of women, because of their need for certainty, which is protection, which they see and they perceive as shelter, food, the ability to be able to have kids, and I don't need to worry about life, so you're going to go work. That need for certainty for a lot of women pushes them to tolerate so many red flags initially. And they're like, that's going to change. I'll work on it. It will never change. You'll never be able to do anything when somebody else isn't ready to embrace change. You can never change anyone. And we all know that the hard way. Oh my God, look at this. Of course you would. Yes, I fought the whole world, including my family, to be with them. That's it. It's 100% my decision, the life I experience. Good for you, by the way. Good for you. Good for both of you. Good for you, Nassim, and good for you, Paul. You know, I really appreciate really appreciate both of you being vulnerable and sharing with us your personal lives. You know, I hope that everybody here got a lot of value together as a family, as a community. Every day, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we show up here for you to talk about how we could grow in wealth, in relationships, in fulfillment, in success, and in health. That's what we are here for, a community of like-minded people that want to focus on creating a space together to grow together. And I will absolutely encourage all of you to just remember that you are a blessing, that you are a loving force, and you are a miracle in existence. Don't see yourself as a weakness experiencing life. See yourself as the absolute power that is a reflection, is a minute reflection of all that there is, whether you want to call it God, the creator, universe, energy, whatever you want to look at it. I don't care. I could speak to you in any language, using science, using your belief, doesn't matter. I believe in all of them. There is something that has built everything, and everything comes out of the something, the one thing. In science, in quantum physics, they call it the quantum fluctuation vacuum. And in religions, every religion has a name for it. God, Allah, Holy Spirit, Brahma, everybody has their prana, everybody has different names for it. Doesn't matter what you want to call it. All humans acknowledge that there is an energetic thing that everything comes out of. Please understand that you are a reflection of that. And you are not the wave, you are the ocean, okay? The wave's life changes when it realizes that it's not the wave, it's the ocean, okay? Just for a moment it becomes a wave, and then it goes back in, and then it comes out, and now it becomes a joyous experience instead of, oh my God, I am so alone. Why am I up here? To woo, I'm up here, and I'm gonna go back down and experience this one more time. Please take this with you, if for nothing else, that you are a beautiful being, you are a capable being, you are a reflection of all that there is, you have divinity within you, you have light and love within you, and you are a force for good on this planet to experience a beautiful life, heaven on your terms, for yourself and for your family. And if you resonate with any of these, that's what we are here for. And I absolutely feel honored to be able to co-create these special daily power hours with every single one of you. Love you so much. Thank you so much. And I just want to say, oh, we got one more here. Paul says, thank you, brother. You gave me a lot to think about. And thank you, Nassim. Yes, we appreciate you as well. And Nassim, thank you so much. So much love for you, for keep on showing up for yourself, for the community. I appreciate and love all of you. Until tomorrow, please, for goodness sake, all I want and all I ask of you is, if you got any value, give it a heart, give it a like, you know, so that the algorithm finds it. I don't even care. I don't see so many of these. There's 14 different platforms. I don't see them. It's not for my ego. Believe me. I'm just saying the algorithm will find out that this is something that is serving, and write a comment, because these comments will help the algorithm to figure out that the video is helping, so that hopefully we could reach and serve more people with these daily power hours. Okay, love you so much. Oh, and here's the thing, Nassim has a final message for Paul, and she says, I have good news for you, Paul. From here on, it just gets better. You passed the worst part of it. That is true. That is absolutely true. So it is always a blessing. Every minute of every hour that you're alive, it is a blessing to be alive. And that at that moment that you realize it is a blessing to just be alive, everything else that you have experienced behind you is now the story of the past. And do not entertain those stories. Also, remember one more thing, all of you, before we close and wrap this up. When you go in your head, you go dead. Do not go in your head trying to analyze and figure things out. Always go in your heart. If you don't know how to do it, go on YouTube and just search for heart connection meditations. Meditation essentially means you just shut yourself off to the external world and go internal. It doesn't mean it's woohoo. It just means it's you and your body. So I want you to focus some time with your heart, okay, so that you could get closer and more intimately connected with yourself. Build that connection, build that bridge, and like Nassim said, the worst part is already over because you're realizing that your life is your creation. And from this moment on, we're going to co-create it. We're going to be on this with you. Don't worry, we're always here. You know where to find us, Paul, and anybody else who watches this. And we are here to just empower you with even more and more tools so that you could actually break through. And like I said, if any of you want to get on these live conversations with us, come on YouTube, send us a message, say, I want to talk to you live, and I will send you a link and you can actually join us live on the conversation, okay? And then we're going to only talk about your specific instance. All right, love you so much. Take care. Thank you so much, everybody. Be well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be a blessing and be blessed.